How do you see gold as a future?
Well, I think over the years, gold has proven itself as the perfect hedge against financial and economic turmoil. There's no doubt about it. It is every time that the world economy, global economy, or even regional economies collapsed, gold was the go-to lifeboat for those who could afford it. Gold, just to give you an indication, that in 1913, the year that taxation was introduced into the US and the Federal Reserve Bank Act was promulgated, you could buy a Model T Ford for 16 ounces of gold, which was roughly about, at that point in time, $480 at, I think, $27 per fine ounce. Today, you can buy a Ford Focus for 16 ounces of gold. For $480, you can't buy an i6 Apple cell phone. To give you an indication as to how gold has maintained its value and how the US dollar has lost about 98% of its value over 100 years, over a decade. So when we talk about gold, certainly it comes with the right credentials. And my basic advice to anybody is that you should have a portion of your investment in gold, irrespective of what the price of gold is doing. Now we have to understand that as much as the interest rate market and the stock market have been manipulated, especially over the last decade, the gold price has been manipulated, even probably subject to more manipulation by various role players. I have plotted the gold price last year, and there was very clear indications of manipulation when the gold market, or the markets in the east, shuts down and the gold price has risen by $30 or $20. An example was on the 28th of May last year. Then you find within an hour or two in the US market, the gold price continues to rise, and then suddenly a transaction for $10 million worth of gold hits the market, a sell transaction. That is short selling. The banks who are selling that, and mainly the main culprits here is JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, Barclays. They're all involved in this. They just dump paper gold onto the market. They short sell, and as the price then drops, and on that specific day, the 28th of May last year, the price dropped by $50, and they started buying in the gold. Now, in September, the last report I had on that in September, these banks have still not made good on their sell order. But the Securities Exchange Commission in the US is just taking no action against them on that basis. They should have been already prosecuted for that. But the main reason is that the Federal Reserve cannot afford the gold price to rise because the gold price is always and has always been in direct opposition to the value of the dollar. So it's very difficult, and if you buy gold, you've got to be very, very wary of this. There are, if you do research, there are some minor miners that are making good money still. The big guys are all in the red. But the COMEX, for instance, is also a huge fraud going on there. They only have 127 bricks of gold in inventory, but they've sold something like about 800 bricks of gold. So when that popo hits the fan, it's going to be big trouble all over.
So buying into gold is still a good thing if we take it over the last 100 years.
Into physical gold, yeah, absolutely. If you know what you do, you can invest in gold shares. I believe that as the gold price rises, a lot of these gold mining companies will come to light again. But it's always better to buy into shares, into gold miners that are under present conditions making money, because it just indicates that when the gold price is going to rise, when the economic collapse come and the inevitable consequences arise in the gold price, those companies will make huge profits.
And do you think a person should invest big into gold or small?
I would imagine that right now, if 20% of your total investment is in gold, you're fairly safe, but you should be increasing that over the coming year to constitute about 30% of your total investment portfolio.
Okay, and is it should a person physically hold the gold because of all the scams that are, even the legal scams that are producing paper gold but not got any gold to back it?
Absolutely. You've got to take possession of your physical gold. Now in South Africa you can't take possession of raw gold, but gold coins remain a good. Be very careful what you buy. Buy proof coins, although the premium that you pay for them is a little bit higher. It's worthwhile all the way.
And smaller quantities of gold, we have 1 or 2 companies that sell 1, 2 and 5 grams of gold. Do you think
excellent.
Because if you go into a shopping center and you have a gold coin, it would be hard to give you change, I suppose, for when you do your groceries.
Well, we get to that. You see, in conditions of economic stress, as I expect will happen, people should now already begin to collect small change, because you'll get to a shop and you will offer them 100 rand bill and they will simply not have change for you.
Well, this is what we saw in Zimbabwe with the currency, that they changed it to US dollars and rands, and when it comes to giving you 50 or 80 cents change, they say take some sweets or something.
Please begin to collect your small change, keep it under your mattress, get these coffee tins and all those empty tins and fill them up with small change.
Yeah, I think so too. I think my personal opinion is that even nickel would be worth more than what it's printed on.
Paper.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And the paper, yes.
Yeah. I must just add here that the same goes for silver. The silver price has been depressed for a long time. It's manipulated also very seriously. But silver is an excellent, especially at the current prices, silver is an excellent investment. The difference between silver and gold is there are no more silver resources in the world. The last silver mine that's opened is in Peru, and after that one, no other silver deposits has been discovered yet. So you now start going into the scenario of a scarce resource, a dwindling resource, and that Economics 101 tells you should have a positive effect on the price of silver.
Yes, I've myself bought some silver bullion, you can put it, and it's even legal to buy.
Absolutely, and there's it's an alternative for people who can't afford gold.
Yes.
Gold's expensive, silver is fairly cheap at this point.
Yes, I mean it's only a fraction of the price of gold.
Correct.
Yeah, I think it's maybe 5%.
5 to 10% of your holding should be in silver.
Yeah.